Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Daily Betslip. It is myself. It is Reed Wallach. And we are right on the eve of sports equinox, where we have everything going all at once, including MLB playoffs. But unfortunately, we're not there quite yet. So we have pretty meaningless MLB to bet on tonight, and that's just about it. It's tonight, it's tomorrow, and then from this Thursday onwards for the next 6 months, we're living in the glory days. So tonight, it's MLB meaningless games are kind of tough to bet on, but we're going to do it anyways. Reed, I got to ask you, how do you feel about the Mets completely blowing the NL East?
It's not great. We're living through it. The faint hope. I mean, I've been saying Sunday was the end of the Mets regular season for that matter. Just, obviously if the Braves get swept by the Marlins and the Mets sweep the Nationals, then the Mets win the division. But I'm not holding on to that thought, even though the Braves did lose last night. So maybe it's a little interesting, but it's brutal. I was on the Mets did not blow the NL East. It was right. The Braves just ran them down. That's why it's 162 games, not easy. But I've now changed my tune. Sunday kind of changed my whole to have DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, your three guys, you brought them here to have the best rotation in the National League, and they all dropped the ball, to be honest. The Lindor and Alonso didn't help, but, you needed one game. Needed one game in Atlanta of the three. Two would have been you clinch. So they got zero. So I've now changed my tune because they were set up to win the division over the weekend, or at least pretty much win it. And they're now going to lose it. And I don't know. You're looking at San Diego probably, then the Dodgers, then the Braves in the NLCS before the World Series. I don't know. I'm as negative as I've been about the Mets this entire season.
Are you concerned about Jacob deGrom not being Jacob deGrom in recent starts?
I wouldn't say I'm same concern every single time because obviously the injury concern, he missed the first half of the season. So I guess it's always concerned. The way he looks, I'm not as concerned. There's I don't need to get into all of it, but there's underlying concern about DeGrom wanting out of New York anyway and opting out of his contract and signing elsewhere. So that's been a weird thing all year. So maybe that's even if not directly, but subconsciously playing into it. So maybe there's something there, but he looks the same. I think that I'm more afraid that the Mets, the war of attrition is going to wear on this team now going into the postseason.
Well, the Mets are in the middle of a doubleheader. I don't think we have any picks for the second of the two games today, so I did want to get your thoughts as a Mets fan. They are up 2-0 in the top of the third right now, so you need a lot of
dominoes. Like a double-A baseball team, they better be.
You need a lot of dominoes to fall for them to win the NL East, but winning this first of two games is the first domino. So there you have it. And I think we both have a pick for the Braves game tonight, so we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's start off by jumping into some community picks. And I will say, for watching this on YouTube, let us know in the chat your best bets if you didn't send them to me through Twitter already. Like and subscribe. Do that, please. Just straight to the point. Let's go ahead and bring up the first community pick for tonight. I think it's all baseball, obviously. Braves -163. Prez at President picks 1. No explanation for the pick, but he seems to think that the Atlanta Braves will clinch tonight. I will say it's Jake Odorizzi, who has not been good for the Braves since he's been acquired by them, going up against Braxton Garrett. Like I said, we both have picks for this game a little bit later on in the show, so we won't dive into it too much, but he thinks they clinch.
Can't hate on it. I mean, obviously I'm rooting against it, but I mean, Braves, they don't lose. They don't lose except for last night, I guess, but it feels like they don't lose. So can't hate on the play. -163 against the Marlins. Not terrible.
All right, let's bring up the second community pick for tonight. Jason Staff at Jason Staff 09. That is the Orioles money line. Orioles against my Blue Jays. He didn't put in the odds, so I'll let you know what the odds are right now. Orioles -134 favorites. I like that bet as well because the Blue Jays are now starting. There's two pitchers that the Blue Jays have that I will bet against them every time. One is Jose Barrios, even though I believe they got the win last night. Tonight is the pitcher I hate even more. Mitch White. God damn, do I hate Mitch White. Mitch White is the guy who pitched when I was in Toronto over the summer, and I decided to spend some money on a pretty decent ticket at the game behind home plate, and 12-0 it was. 5-0 in the second inning, I think it was, or maybe third inning. It was over before it started, thanks to Mitch White. I hate him.
Is Roger? I have a pick on this game, so I'll save my opinion for that. The line has definitely moved them since when I placed the bet, though. But we'll talk about that. Is Roger Center nice? That's what it's called, right? Roger Center?
Yeah, it used to be called the Sky Dome.
Is it nice?
I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice stadium. I don't have too much point of reference because I haven't been to very many baseball stadiums or really professional sports stadiums in my life to begin with. But I think it's a nice stadium. I think it's better than Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
The view of it's gorgeous, though, because when the roof is open, the CN Tower is right above, right
Oh,
next
yeah,
to the
I
stadium.
actually do know that, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Baseball domes.
View.
I don't think I've ever been to a baseball dome.
Yeah, it's not.
Is that
so
like
I would
a good
say,
viewing experience?
yes, the Rogers Center is a top-tier stadium when the roof is open. When the roof is closed, it's probably a bottom-tier stadium.
Okay, interesting.
Baseball's not the same when the roof is closed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, so that was Orioles money line. I agree with that pick, Jason. Young Acorn, I do want to get to this right quick. By the way, he did say Mitch White haters unite. Yes, me and Young Acorn on the same wavelength for that. He also says, I know this game isn't important at all, but does anyone have an angle on game 1 of the Tigers-Mariners doubleheader?
No, I don't. I don't even know who's pitching.
No, because I'm even looking at...
it hasn't been announced yet.
Game 1 right now, Eduardo Rodriguez and Chris Flexen. I don't. I'm sorry. I wish I was more prepared.
Mariners don't hit lefties well, though, so I guess maybe take a dog shot. Mariners are already in.
Let me take a quick. I'm surprised that is this going to be? I guess it's in Seattle, but that still seems a little bit late for a doubleheader. But I guess they are West Coast for the first game of a doubleheader to start 6:10 p.m. Eastern. But
yeah, it's usually they'd start at 4 and then do the later one. But yeah.
I'll take a quick look-see here while Reed gives out a pick later on the show, and it'll give me a minute to look it up. So we will get back to that, Young Acorn. I will give you a pick regardless. Let's go ahead and get to the next community pick that we have for tonight, though. Cody Wells. Cody Wells going with a walks prop. He usually likes the total bases props, but specifically walks here, and then with a pitcher, Giolito over 1.5 walks plus 115. He says he has gone over this in 6 of his last 7 and 9 of last 12. Including 3 walks against the Twins, this Twins team on September 29th. He has issued the 14th most walks in majors. The Twins rank 10th in walks per game. Great handicap, Cody. I love it. You love the MLB props. Plus money, plus 115. Lucas Giolito has been crap lately. I love it.
Yeah, well said. It's amazing all the bets you could make on sports nowadays with all the legalization whatnot. A walk prop, imagine.
We're living in the golden age. Yeah, I love it, Cody. I don't have anything to add, and I don't disagree with it. I love it. I'm going to tail it myself. Let's go ahead with the next pick. I think we have 2 left. Sean Mitchelson's always good to send in a pick for us here at DeSoxFan24. It's Zach Gallen day. D-backs first 5, money line minus 125. Gallen has given up 2 or fewer runs in last 12 of 14 starts, giving up 3 in the others. 7 scoreless innings against the Brewers. D-backs continue to be a top first 5 profitable team. Yes, I know Sean Mitchelson loves the first 5 money line bets. I have a different bet for this game that I'll get to, so I won't spoil that a little bit, but it's kind of similar along those lines. Reed, do you have any take on this game at all?
Yeah, it's something I noticed during the year, and I think we've discussed it though, but splitting your bet first 5 in full game, when I'm taking a dog, especially these kind of lower end teams that I don't necessarily believe in, bad bullpens and stuff like that. I've started splitting my bet first 5 in full game money line. So, they jump out to a lead, they lose, it's kind of a wash. Whereas, you don't have to worry as much with a blown game or something like that. So, backing Zach Gallen early, I don't hate it. So yeah, first 5 money line, pretty cheap. Minus 125. I like it.
There you go. I like it. Like I said, I'll give out my pick for that game here in a little bit. And then we have one more community pick for tonight. Victor Steyer. That's a tough one. I don't know. He did not say if this is because I believe they're playing a doubleheader as well. I don't know if this is first game or second game that he's talking about. But Rangers 7-23 against the AL East this year. So maybe he's just talking about both games. Yankees money line and the over. The first game is over, right? The first game has finished. Let me know what the final score was.
I want to say it was 5-4 Yankees. Game went over. Yankees won.
Boom. So if that was the first game, if it's already a winner, if it's for a second game, we'll see. If it's both, he's in a pretty good spot heading into the second game. So the old Yankees get another win. So there you have it. Those are the community picks for today. We have our own MLB bets for today. That's all we got to bet on tonight. So we got 3 MLB bets each. Reed, why don't you start us off here? What is your first best bet for tonight?
Yeah, I'll go with what the community pick was. I'll take Orioles money line. I got minus 120. It's moved, I guess, to minus 134. Still like it, though. I mean, you made the case. Young Acorn also made the case. Mitch White haters unite. 7.88 ERA in 4 appearances since the start of September. Baltimore, obviously a great story. We know that this offense can kind of hum. 11th in weighted runs created plus since the start of September. 10th in slugging percentage. Blue Jays clinched that top wild card spot already, so I don't think that they're necessarily trotting out their best arms as they get ready for the wild card over the weekend. I just think the Orioles get it done at home. I also sprinkled on Anthony Santander to hit a home run. He has 6 over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I don't know, just to add to that, I don't know what it's worth, but I don't think the Blue Jays can, well, they certainly can't improve their standing, but I don't think they can fall out of the top wildcard seed either. So they have quite literally nothing to play for. Does that mean anything? Who knows? But that is
maybe though they don't try to if they some guy was doing off day, maybe relievers, they're not itching to get those guys reps because there's nothing to play for. They're locked into their position. They got to get ready for the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I like that pick quite a bit. Like I said earlier with Young Acorn, Mitch White haters unite. Yeah, I hate Mitch White. I don't want a waste of money. I wanted to send the Blue Jays an email, ask for my money back. What a waste of time that was. Mitch White's a bum. All right, my first bet, I'm going to talk about that Diamondbacks-Brewers game. I'm going to go no runs first inning. Little nerfy bet. Minus 146, but I still think there's some value here because Zach Gallen is one of the best first inning pitchers in all of baseball. He has a 1.20 first inning ERA. He has started 30 games this season. He has only allowed a combined 4 earned runs. Eric Lauer gets start for the Brewers. He's not bad in the first inning, 3.21 ERA, but the Diamondbacks stink on offense in the first inning. 26th in first inning runs per game at 0.41. Brewers rank 11th in first inning runs per game at 0.52. So if you're willing to lay the juice a little bit, or even put on 2 units maybe, I like this bet quite a bit. Diamondbacks, Brewers, nerfy.
Okay.
All right, let's hear your second MLB bet.
Another small favorite. I know we were just talking about maybe there's not as much to play for, but I'm going to go with this one, the Rays money line. They have a little bit to play for. The Mariners are a game and a half behind them. They're minus 120 at Boston. Jeffrey Springs, I mean, this guy is pretty elite young pitcher, and the Rays continue just to pump these guys out. But lefty, 2.45 ERA. And even if they keep him on a pitch count or they're not trying to go the distance with him, the Rays are backed up by the 6th best bullpen in terms of ERA as a unit. So I think that this Rays pitching staff has the edge over the Red Sox, who are out of it. They don't have much to play for. The Rays lost last night, 4-3. I think they bounce back here, especially if this gets into the bullpen for the Red Sox. They have the 6th worst bullpen ERA. So this gets late. I like the Rays to rally if they're behind, but I like Jeffrey Springs a ton. I think Tampa Bay takes care of business. So Rays money line minus 120 is my second best bet.
Can the Rays still catch the Mariners for that second wild card spot or no?
They're a game and a half behind them, so technically they're still alive, but obviously maybe not pressing need because it's probably not happening with, I guess, 3 to play for the Mariners, but technically they're still alive.
I'm just going to go back to Young Acorn's question about the first Tigers-Mariners game. If I were to bet on that game, just a quick look while you were breaking down your picks there, Reed, I'd actually go under. Seattle since September 1st, 21st against lefties. I think historically throughout the season they're good against lefties, but not so much recently.
No. They can't hit. They draw a lot of walks. They can't hit lefties, though.
Yeah, so there you go. And Tigers significantly worse against righties. So bad matchup for both offenses. And the 2 bullpens, 8th and 10th in bullpen ERA dating back to September 1st. So good bullpens, bad matchups for the offense. Over-under's at 7, but you can get the under at plus 102, a little plus money action. That's probably the way I would go. for Tigers Mariners game 1. That was a very quick baseline handicap, but you asked for it, so I did it for you.
Ironically, the Tigers pitching staff has actually been like kind of decent this year, despite being like absolutely terrible this season. Their pitching staff has actually been all right. So, maybe the under's the look there.
Yeah, their offense just stinks. I think quite literally like the worst offense in the majors this season. Already, speaking of unders, my best bet or my next best bet is going to be an under as well. I'm going to go Cubs Reds under 8.5 for this one. I think it's a little bit of a high total based on how bad these offenses have been dating back to September 1st. Cubs ranked 25th in OPS. Reds ranked dead last in the majors in OPS since the start of last month. I know the starting pitching matchup isn't fantastic. Javier Assad is coming off a no-run 5-inning performance, and the Cubs do rank 9th in bullpen ERA dating back to September 1st. So I still think just based on the offenses alone, I think the total is a little bit too high, maybe a run, half a run. So I'll take the under between the Cubs and Reds and hope that the starting pitching matchup here just keeps it together.
Yeah, don't hate it. I'll see your under and raise you an over because I'm taking Braves Marlins over 8 runs. We said it during the community bets. Jake Odorizzi, he stinks, 5.66 ERA. And this Marlins offense, I remember August where they went on like this crazy run of they couldn't score more than 3 runs. Well, now their season's over. They're starting to come alive. 8 of their last 10, they have scored 4 or more runs. So maybe they could pounce on Odorizzi. And of course, Atlanta, they're favored. They're likely to win. They could put up a ton of runs against lefty Braxton Garrett, who, he's nothing special in the Braves offense. 3rd in OPS against lefties. I would never bet on the Braves to win because I hope they lose again, but I definitely think the Marlins could push 4 or 5 runs and the Braves, hopefully it's closer to 3 or 4, but I think that this game goes over the total. This Marlins offense isn't playing to their listless standards that it was about a month or so ago.
My final bet is in this exact same game. And Reed, I think the Mets might have life after today. Okay. I'm going to actually take the Marlins.
Okay.
Little upset alert here, plus 138. I mean, this is mostly just a complete fade of Jake Odorizzi. Like you mentioned, just a complete bum since joining the Braves. 5.66 ERA, 5.34 FIP, 1.669 WHIP. Braves also only 3-6 in his starts since joining the team. One of those starts came against the Marlins. To be fair, that did end up being a win for the Braves, but he gave up 8 hits and 2 earned runs in only 4 innings. And the opposite is true for Braxton Garrett, 3.07 ERA since September. He's also faced the Braves on August 14th, I believe it was, and he pitched 6 innings of no-run baseball. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like the Braves don't have a massive offensive advantage in this game, but I think Jake Odorizzi stinks enough and might even the playing field a little bit. I think things might get weird in the NL East down here in the last couple of days. So I'm gonna take the Marlins to pull off the upset here, plus 138.
Let's hope. I mean, who needs the money? I'll take the win. Push this on. We'll give us one more day. We'll see if the defending World Series champs could hold on game 162 tomorrow. Hopefully. Yeah,
let's sweat it out a little bit. Beers and Bowties does not agree with me. He says Braves money line. Yeah, it's an emotional bet. When we win, then the Mets have to sweep, or we are division champs.
No, even the Braves match numbers 1. They just need a Mets loss or a Braves win, and they are the NL East champs. So maybe tonight's their night. I hope not. I will say I thought it was interesting. I mean, granted, they probably win tonight or tomorrow, and doesn't matter. But they celebrated on Sunday night as if they won the division, which I thought was like a little
good.
Not like champagne wasn't flowing, I don't think, but they had crowned themselves. I mean, I crowned them also, but they are the players, so I'm allowed to. They're not allowed to. So they crowned themselves a chance. I thought that was a little interesting.
Beers and Bowties, noted Braves fan. It sounds like interesting. Do you know what the odds are for the Mets? I guess it's probably closed down now because the Mets' first game has started. But did you see what the Mets' odds were to win the NL East before the game started?
While you go through the recap graphic, I will find. I saw someone tweeted out, someone placed a bet, one of those PR tweet things.
All right, let's bring up the recap graphic for our 6 best bets for tonight. I'm going Nerfy between the Diamondbacks and Brewers, under 8.5 between Cubs and Reds, Marlins plus 138 to pull off the upset against the Braves, Reed, you're on the O's -120 against my Jays. Rays -120 against the Red Sox, and the over 8 in that pivotal Braves against Marlins game. Did you find it? I think I saw it at 12-1.
Yeah. So someone, this comes from Ben Fox, who does great stuff for VSiN, but at BFox22, he said one better in New Jersey, shout out Jersey, at Caesars wagered $1,000 on the Mets to win the NL East at 16-1 odds. That's essentially like as if you were going to do a rolling parlay of the Mets in game 1 today, game 2 today, the Marlins tonight, the Mets tomorrow, and the Marlins tomorrow. So a 5-leg 16-1 parlay is essentially what you're doing.
There you go. Interesting. We'll see how it turns out.
Well, I mean, that's probably 16-1 is probably better odds than what you're laying in that rolling parlay. But yeah, no, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think I saw 12-1. So yeah, parlay at 16-1, probably the better way to go. Let's talk NFL really quick here.
Let's do it.
Because with last night's Monday Night Football game concluding, we are now officially on to Week 5. And if we get through Week 5, we'll be past the quarter mark of the NFL season. So we both, I've already locked in all my bets. I don't know if you locked in this bet or not, but we're looking at a couple of games.
I bet it today. I bet this is the only NFL game I bet this week.
There you go. So then let's talk a little early NFL bets that we already have locked in. You go first. What is the game that you're looking at for Week 5?
Yeah, I played the Dolphins -3. I got -125, cheap 3.5. I think that's where this ultimately closes. But I like the Dolphins through 4. I think like the Jets beat the Steelers, but I liked the Jets last week. I didn't really believe in the Steelers with Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett last week. They closed 3-point dogs in Pittsburgh. Now you're getting a Dolphins team with extra rest going to the Jets. Like this didn't change my opinion with Zach Wilson coming back. Like it was great. He had a game-winning drive. Maybe he will take a step forward this year and they'll be okay. But like the Dolphins are going to be a playoff team this year. Their defense is absolutely nails. On a short week last week, they held down that Bengals offense. So, I get the Tua injury and concussion, and it's terrible. And, I don't want to make light of that. But Teddy Bridgewater is also an amazing quarterback against the spread, and he's decent. I don't think the downgrade is that much. So the Dolphins are, a far better team. You're telling me at home they're like under a touchdown favorite against the Jets? I don't think so. I like the Dolphins here. I think they win this one going away against the Jets.
There you have it. No, you don't think Zach Wilson is the answer for the Jets, eh?
I don't think in this scenario, like he had that game-winning drive, and that's awesome. But like he also was playing terrible for the first 3.5 quarters of that game.
Yeah, that's fair. So you are back in Teddy Two Gloves. In the Miami
obviously
Dolphins.
Key number 3, so I'm willing to pay up for it. But this is the bet I got because it seems like it's gonna get to 3.5 everywhere.
My bet for that game, just a side note, I won't get into it too much here. I'm on the over though. I think the Dolphins are an over team. I got a 43.5. It's up to 44.5 most places. I just think the Dolphins are an over team.
If you had to pick a side, I'm just curious. Like if you had to pick a side, do you have an opinion or not really?
I'd probably go Dolphins if I had to pick a side.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think the Jets are getting a little bit too much respect here. But yeah, no, over isn't a bad look in my opinion, especially like Wilson throws a lot of picks, short field. The Dolphins are a very opportunistic defense. I like the over too if I were to take a total.
Love it. All right, my pick that I'm looking at that I already have, well, I have them all locked in, but the one that I'd recommend maybe jumping on before it moves anymore here is the Browns +3 against the Chargers. I like them quite a bit in the spot. Do we even know if the Chargers are a good team? I'm starting to question my preseason evaluation of this team. They might not be that good. Especially their run defense, which was their biggest issue last year too. 31st in opponent yards per carry. Now they have to take on a Browns team that has Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They're allowing 5.4 yards per carry. Like it's going to be tough to slow down this Browns team if you're allowing 5.4 yards per carry through the first 4 weeks. I don't know if Brandon Staley is a good coach. The Chargers offense hasn't actually been that great. To be honest, last week, yes, they won and covered against the Texans. But the Texans outgained them in terms of yards per play in that game. Just a couple bad turnovers by Davis Mills going to cost them. So I think I need to start reevaluating this Chargers team. Maybe they'll prove me wrong this week, but I'll take the 3 points with the Browns and trust that their run game can do some damage to this Chargers defense.
Yeah, this was another game I was eyeing. I was, anytime you get a home dog +3, especially this. Right now, the Browns aren't like a very good team, but I think that they're middle of the pack with Jacoby Brissett. But like getting +3 here. Not to mention you got a West Coast team traveling East Coast, so the body clock is all off. Browns probably should have won last week against your Falcons, with all due respect.
No, they should have.
They got stopped at the goal line early. I don't know. That game was kind of weird. They shut down the Falcons offense. I don't know if Myles Garrett's going to be back, but getting that 3, I don't know. I said we were talking Survivor last week, and I thought the Chargers were the play. They ultimately got a little nervy there, but they took care of business. And part of my reason why I was taking them there is I don't know where this team is going this year because of all the injuries they have. You make a great point about the rush defense against like guys like Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I agree. I like the Browns a lot. I think the Browns are going to win this game, kind of.
Yeah, I locked it at +3. And then when I was actually recording my podcast last night, I was like, oh, maybe I should have just taken money line. But I already had it locked in because I wouldn't be shocked if they win this game outright. But getting
also the Chargers play with the way, well, at least last year, Staley used to go for it on 4th down and stuff. A lot of variance in their games where they play a lot of wacky results where like all of a sudden, like Staley might go for it in his own territory. And next thing you know, the Browns are up 17-3 and like Herbert can't really breathe because he's playing with like a shattered rib cage. So like, I could definitely see Browns winning this game, like almost in like going away, like double digits. Cause like the game just gets kind of out of whack.
Yeah, for sure. So I didn't take Browns money line, but hey, Browns +3, that key number 3. I love that quite a bit. So
I'm going to enjoy
there you go. That is my early best bet. To be honest, I don't really know what way this line is going to move, but it's still at +3 if you want to jump on it, just in case. If it dips below 2.5, then obviously it's below that key number. So there you have it, Browns +3. Let's move on to our game of the night, which is the Phillies and the Astros. I believe Phillies, all playoff teams have clinched. Phillies still fighting for their seeding in the wild card round here. You got Justin Verlander against Ranger Suarez, I believe it is.
Yep.
So let's give out our best bet for the game tonight. Reed, go ahead.
Yeah, pretty simple here. Astros run line -1.5, slightly plus money. Phillies clinched last night. Celebration effect. We saw it. Braves kind of half celebrated on Sunday. They came to Miami last night. They got kind of smoked by the Marlins. So Phillies celebrating. Saw their lineup for today. Schwarber's out. Rhys Hoskins is out. It's not their full mass ready to go. They're currently a game behind the Padres for the last wild card spot. Maybe they're not going for it as much, but this is not their full, playoff starting lineup here tonight. And, again, Astros are going to be off. So they're trying to get Justin Verlander back into the full swing of things. I think he pitches, his full serving, whereas Ranger Suarez maybe pulled a little bit earlier, so he stays loose, but they're playing this weekend in the wild card, potentially against the Cardinals. So, maybe you don't see a full outing for Suarez. So I'll take the Astros on the run line, better team plus money.
Yeah, Phillies might not even want to improve their standing. It might actually be better, and this is the same thing in the AL. It might be kind of better for a team to kind of finish in the last wild card spot because the Cardinals are going to be an easier matchup than presumably the Mets. Same thing in the AL. The Guardians are going to be an easier matchup than the Blue Jays. So it will be kind of interesting to see how the Phillies handle this. But I'm going to go with the total instead. I'm going to go over 7, actually.
Okay.
I think it is a kind of an overreaction to Justin Verlander starting here, but there's a few key things that make me think we might see some runs here. Now, I know the Phillies, most notably Kyle Schwarber, they're sitting, so maybe their offense isn't quite going to be as sharp as it has been. But still, since September 1st, 3rd in the majors in OPS, Astros are 9th. And both offenses have a good matchup in terms of righties and lefties. Astros 3rd since September 1st in OPS against lefties. They face lefty Ranger Suarez, and Phillies 4th in OPS against righties. Since September 1st, they face righty Justin Verlander. Now, as you mentioned, I don't really know how long these starting pitchers will be in. Maybe Verlander will have a full start since they have that first round bye. But if Ranger Suarez gets pulled a little bit early, I think that's going to help this bet quite a bit because the Phillies bullpen, not good. 23rd in bullpen ERA this season. So I wouldn't be surprised if a couple late runs by the Astros helps us cash this bet. So I'm going to go over 7 at even money.
Yeah. Again, I don't hate it. I think that the Astros could kind of put up a big number here, closer to like 5-6 runs and, help this get over. I like the Astros pretty easy in this game, but yeah, great points on the over.
The poll is on Astros -1.5. Maybe that should concern you, Reed. The poll has not been hot recently. They were on the Rams last night. The Paul and Peter both on the Rams last night. I was on the 49ers, and look at that. So,
meanwhile, if we're talking here about that 49ers game, I had the only bet I took on the Niners game last night was Juszczyk anytime touchdown. First of all, this guy, he's like 11-1 every week, anytime touchdown. I'll vent real quick. Kyle Shanahan, who like drives me insane with his in-game managing. They get down to the 1 yard line. Juszczyk catching balls. He's doing this like all the way down the field, using them in the game. 3rd and goal at the 1. They hand it to Jeff Wilson. Like, why not just give it to the fullback, the up man? He'll get in. Wilson gets stopped, and they kick to go up 8-5. They go from 5 to 8. Just go for it, bro. Like, you have this awesome offensive line, and you could put the game away. They ultimately end up winning, but I can't do after last year's NFC title game when I had that Niners future. I can't do it with Kyle Shanahan. I just can't do it. It was right there for him. This conservative play calling, I can't do it.
Speaking of last night, I was on the 49ers just really quick. I know we've gone off topic now, but I mean, meaningless baseball games tonight. Rams offensive line gives me a lot of concerns. That's a big reason why I was on the 49ers last night. Listen to this. Rams, second last in the NFL in yards per play through the first 4 weeks.
That's crazy.
Now, obviously, they played 2 very good defenses. Well, already they played 2 of the best defense in the NFL. They played the Bills week 1 and 49ers last night. So I think we're going to see some positive regression. But still, we're talking about the defending Super Bowl champions with one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL last year. Second last in yards per play. Only Washington is averaging fewer yards per play in the Rams. Pretty mind-blowing.
Their skill position guys outside of Cooper Kupp leave a lot to be desired. Like Allen Robinson, like we all begged for him to like get a good quarterback and stuff. Like we may have like missed the boat on Allen Robinson. He might just be washed now. Like we lost the window of like good Allen Robinson with a good quarterback. Yeah, the NFC, it's not, I know it's early where you haven't even hit the quarter point, but like it's not looking great. It's compared to the AFC, there's not a lot of quality teams in the NFC this year. I think, you got Philly, Niners, Tampa, Green Bay, those 4.
And
Atlanta.
Yeah, let's go.
Like I just like look at the AFC. I mean, that Baltimore-Buffalo game was played at like a different level than the game last night, in my opinion. And that was in the rain.
Yes, I do want to shout out the people in chat really quick before we shut this thing down. Luke Shale says, good thing the Phillies went out partying last night so the Astros can kick the crud out of them. So
there we go, Luke Shale.
He's obviously back in the Astros in the game of the night. Hey, I'm fine with that as long as they get at least 7 runs. Give me a push at least.
8-0 Astros.
Perfect. Beers and Bowtie says, what was more impressive, Philly or Bills comeback win or Chiefs blowout win?
Probably the Bills comeback win. Think the Chiefs game, I think the Bucks need a little bit more time to get it going. Also, I feel like that fumble on the opening kickoff kind of set that game like on a completely different direction, if that makes sense. Like the Chiefs scored, they were up 7-0 in 10 seconds. Like it's like the game was kind of over right then and there. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I just brought up the stats for this Chiefs-Buccaneers game. Yeah, Chiefs won in a blowout, but statistically, Bucks 6.4 yards per play, Chiefs 5.4 yards per play.
Yeah, I mean, it's that opening kickoff. Like I had the big screen on Mets Braves, and like the little screen had like Chiefs Bucks, and I look over like I'm watching the opening kick, and I'm like, oh, that ball is like just out, and then the Chiefs recover and they score on a play. I'm like, all right, well, like that's kind of like I think that might just be game.
Yeah, things kind of went the Chiefs' way. Chiefs did do a really good job of just keeping Brady off the field, though. 17 minutes more of time of possession over the Buccaneers, so Chiefs certainly did some good things right. But
for sure, yeah, it wasn't a fluky win by any means. It's more just like impressive. The Bills kind of rallying on the road in the slop, got that goal line stand. Got the drive they needed. That was impressive from Josh Allen and company.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bills comeback when it was a little bit more impressive. Luke Schill, one last thing, says Pirates cards under tonight. I don't know. I didn't handicap that game, to be honest.
Luke, flip a coin, Luke.
Flip a coin. And best of luck, whichever side the coin falls on. Or, I mean, let's be honest. This is the second last night of meaningless baseball. So, I don't know. Tail one of our picks, or maybe just
better idea. Go watch the early read from today and save your money for the college football picks, because those picks went 6-2 last week, and we're going to do even better this week. So go watch the early read.
Boom. There you go. What a transition. Yes, check out the early read, which was live earlier today. Who was our guest again?
Mike Calabrese from the Action Network. He's the co-host of the Action Network's Group of 5 Deep Dive. So like true, I said he's like a really friendly degenerate because like he's like he loves like mid-majors more than like high-profile teams. So we got like into some nitty-gritty, some gross games, which like that's like the stuff that warms my heart. So yeah, it's an awesome show. Make sure you check it out.
Check that out right now. Tomorrow I'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern. It'll be myself and Donovan Smoot. What are we going to handicap tomorrow night? Don't know. I think there is a college football game.
There is. UCF SMU tomorrow.
There you go. College football game tomorrow night. I'll have some golf picks for the show. We'll figure something out because I think every MLB game starts at 4 o'clock. So we won't even have maybe some live bets for MLB. Fun times. So yeah, be sure to check that out. And then NFL Week 5 starts on Thursday. My guest for that show will be Holden Kushner, big Colorado guy. We'll talk the Broncos. We'll talk some Colorado Avalanche too, because hockey starts on Friday as well. So there you have it. Reed, any final thoughts?
No, just check out the show. Hopefully these like final MLB regular season wagers come through. Hopefully the Marlins win. Hopefully the Mets win their 2 games. And yeah, I'll talk to you later, Ian.
All right. Gamble or bless, everyone. Good luck with your picks tonight. I'll see you tomorrow.